The 1980s NBA teams would beat any NBA team today. Imagine this: an average 1980s NBA team stepping onto the court against a modern 2025 squad. Statistically, the 80s teams averaged around 109 to 110 points per game, while today's teams push roughly 112 to 114 PPG. At first glance, that difference seems minimal, but here's where the magic lies. 1. Three-point reliance versus consistency. In the 80s, teams attempted about 3.5 threes per game. Fast forward to 2025, and modern teams are dishing out roughly 35 attempts per game. That reliance means if the three-point barrage goes cold, even for one game, the modern squad loses a huge slice of their scoring. The 80s teams, meanwhile, built their offense around mid-range and inside shots, which are less volatile and more fundamentally sound. The volatile nature of three-pointers can be seen earlier in the season when the Celtics were shooting 53-pointers every night, but would lose games on cold nights. If a 1980s NBA team shoots 48% from inside, the modern NBA teams must shoot above 33% to score more points. And the following points will show you why an 80s NBA team would shoot more than 48% against modern teams. 2. Superior interior defense and offense. Back then, every guard and forward was drilled in tough, physical inside defense. In contrast, 2025 teams spread their defense to cover a barrage of three-point shooters and would naturally be weaker inside defenders due to less experience. The 80s teams are experts at defending inside plays, however. Their years of experience mean they excel at protecting the rim and contesting drives. Examples to prove this are players like Keegan Murray playing power forward. He simply isn't the same interior defender as most 80s bigs. And Keegan's lucky we aren't talking about 90s bigs like Malone and Duncan III. Grit and fundamental toughness. The 80s game was built on physicality and a no-nonsense, grinded-out approach. Their balanced offense and hard-nosed rebounding would disrupt a modern team's rhythm, especially if the modern shooters are off. When your game plan relies on one high-variance weapon, the three, it can backfire on cold nights, and whoever wins the rebound count usually wins games. The rebounding fundamentals are different too. Bam for Miami Heat averages 5 box-outs a game as a center compared to the 25 box-out centers posted per game not long ago 4. Reduced variance and balanced scoring. Modern teams can light it up from downtown, but that strategy is a double-edged sword. A night of subpar shooting can dramatically deflate their output. Offensively, the 1980s team operates with more superiority inside. They have honed post moves, mid-range jumpers, and quick drives to the basket over years of practice. Their offensive game is built on a balanced, fundamental approach, ensuring that when modern teams miss their long-range shots, the 1980s squad exploits modern NBA teams' weaker interior defense with increased efficiency. If 1980s NBA teams shot 48% inside, they would shoot even better against modern interior defenders today. The verdict: while the 2025 squad may boast a marginal scoring edge on paper, the 1980s team's reliance on fundamentals, physical interior play, and balanced offense would allow them to consistently outsmart and overpower a three-point dependent modern team, potentially winning 8 out of 10 matchups. The simple fact 1980s NBA teams would shoot higher than 50% on weaker inside paint defenders means modern NBA teams can't have cold nights and would need to actually shoot a pristine three-point percentage anyways. This isn't just nostalgia, it's a case study in how strategic diversity and toughness can trump modern firepower.